one of the things that I'm really most excited about is Uber's kind of acquisition of Drizzly. And so, the CEO was actually on CNBC yesterday. Both CEOs were on CNBC yesterday. And, Uber, one line kind of sticks out in my mind. The CEO of Uber says that if Amazon owns next day delivery, Uber wants to own next hour delivery. And that's exactly right. I look at the difference between an Uber and a Lyft, and I've said it before, Uber is not a rideshare company. It's a tech delivery company, and they want to be the company that brings everything to your door. And, they did this kind of really cool pivot and bought one of Uber Eats' biggest competition, Postmates, in mid to late 2020. And now with this purchase of Drizzly, they just keep doubling down. And I just really am excited about the future of Uber.
Many people have made the case that Uber is not a rideshare company, that it's a technology company, that it's actually a service company. It's one that provides a platform for a kind of dispatch and everything else. What exactly then does that say about the valuation or the actual kind of market value that it can grow into over time? The bullish narrative around Uber has to center around the fact that their total addressable market keeps growing the more they add on to different businesses, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, we tend to talk, on CNBC about valuations and what makes sense, and really relative to these companies relative to like companies and to the median S&P or things like that. And what I'm looking at is, Uber's competition. It's getting harder and harder to kind of value companies these days, right? And this kind of in this intersection of like technology, and then we just are still kind of in this global pandemic, right? Where we have economies that are still sluggish. And how do you value that? How do you value a company like Uber that is really uniquely positioned to do all of these things? And what I think is very interesting with Uber is, again, it's not just rideshare, and it's not just a food delivery, but because they have so many different spokes, if you will, they're kind of bulletproof, right? It doesn't really matter whether we're in a global pandemic or whether we're not in a global pandemic, right? They're able to kind of weather the storm. And again, they just keep kind of doubling down. So this traditional idea of valuation, I think, is going to be a little bit hard to do here.
All right. So, Tiffany, it's fair to say that you're an Uber bull. We can see that right now. So obviously there are people out there who don't agree with you as much. But I'm curious what other picks you have out there. Uber doesn't make a portfolio. What other companies are you looking at to kind of fill things out? What are you bullish on?
Yeah, so I really look at 2020 as, for a lot of industries, kind of like a clearing of the deck. So you take like the restaurant industry, for example, $150 billion kind of lost in that industry. So many, unfortunately, so many restaurants really going out of business. And so it's really the stage is set for certain companies to really do well and dominate. And what are the companies that are doing well? The companies that are using tech to get products to their customers, to get food to their customers. So a company like Starbucks, I put in that category, who is using kind of like this mobile app. I call it like the VIP line, if you will, pre-pandemic. And now that they were kind of able to kind of weather this storm. I know they came out with earnings. I missed a little bit, but I'm not really concerned about that. But they're really harnessing the power of technology to continue their business, to do their business more efficiently. Also, the loyalty programs give so much data about their customers to Starbucks. They've got over 20 million people in their loyalty program, and it helps them develop sales strategies and marketing strategies going forward.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.